Tonight, while you sleep, your brain will construct an entire world. It will cast actors from your past, build rooms that have never existed, and hand you a plot that makes no sense at all, and yet feels completely real. You will not know it is happening. You will not question it. And then you will wake up, and almost all of it will vanish before you even reach for your phone. Where did it go? More importantly, why was it there in the first place? This is not a small question. You will spend roughly 6 years of your life dreaming. 6 years inside a theater that runs every single night, putting on shows you never asked for and can barely remember. If that is not worth understanding, nothing is. And here is the uncomfortable part. Scientists have been studying dreams for over a century, and they still do not fully agree on what they are for. But in the last 20 years, some answers have started to emerge, and they are stranger and more useful than anyone expected. To understand what dreams are doing, you first have to understand what sleep itself is doing. Sleep is not simply your brain going dark, the way you switch off a lamp. Researchers at the University of Rochester, in a landmark 2013 study led by Mike and Nedergaard, published in the journal Science, discovered that during sleep, the brain actually shrinks slightly, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush through and wash through out toxic waste products that build up during the day. Your brain is, quite literally, cleaning itself, and it needs you unconscious to do it properly. But cleaning is not dreaming. Dreaming belongs to a specific stage of sleep called REM, which stands for rapid eye movement. During REM, discovered in 1953 by researchers Nathaniel Kleitman and Eugene Aserinsky at the University of Chicago, your eyes flicker back and forth behind your closed eyelids. Your body becomes almost completely paralyzed, and your brain lights up in a pattern that looks, on a brain scan, almost identical to being wide awake. You are asleep, but your brain is running at nearly full power. Why? One compelling answer comes from Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist at UC Berkeley, in his research and his book Why We Sleep. Walker found that REM sleep appears to act like overnight emotional therapy. During the day, you accumulate experiences, and some of them carry a sting: fear, anger, embarrassment, grief. During REM sleep, the brain replays those experiences, but it does so with a crucial difference. The stress chemical noradrenaline is almost completely shut off. Your brain is reviewing the difficult moment in a calmer chemical bath. Walker argues this is why, after a good night of sleep, the same memory often feels less raw. You remember what happened, but the sharp edge is gone. Sleep, he writes, is not just a pause between days. It is a form of emotional processing you cannot do while awake. But emotional processing still does not fully explain the bizarre stories your brain tells. Why does your old teacher show up in your childhood kitchen holding a fish? Why do you suddenly need to catch a train that keeps moving? Rosalind Cartwright, a sleep researcher at Rush University in Chicago, who spent 50 years studying dreams, proposed something fascinating. She called dreaming the brain's own problem-solving workshop. During a REM, the brain does not follow its normal rules about what connects to what. It is allowed to reach across its own filing system and pull together memories, emotions, and ideas that would never meet during waking life. Some of those combinations are garbage, but some of them are genuinely novel, new angles on old problems, new ways of seeing something that had you stuck. There is real evidence for this. A 2004 study by Ulrich Wagner and colleagues at the University of Lübeck, published in Nature, gave people a tedious math task with a hidden shortcut. Participants who slept between sessions were roughly 3 times more likely to discover the shortcut than those who stayed awake. The sleeping brain found the pattern the waking brain had missed. So here is the reframe. Dreams are not noise. They are not your brain misfiring, not random static, not leftover fragments from a tired machine. They may be your brain doing some of its most sophisticated work, washing itself clean, filing the day's emotional bruises more gently, and quietly rearranging pieces of information to see if any new combinations actually make sense. The theater that runs every night is not entertainment. It is maintenance. Now, not every dream is insight and healing. Some are just strange. Researchers at the Lyon Neuroscience Research Center, including Isabelle Arnulf, have documented REM sleep behavior disorder, a condition where the muscle paralysis of REM fails and people physically act out their dreams, which tells us just how their dream, motorically real, the brain believes the dream to be. The brain is not treating your dream like a movie. It is treating it like something that is actually happening, which is perhaps why the feelings you carry out of a dream, even when you cannot remember the story, can sit with you all morning. You spend a third of your life asleep. And inside that third, your brain is not absent. It is scrubbing itself, metabolizing your hardest days, and occasionally handing you a solution to a problem you had given up on. The forgetting is frustrating, yes. But maybe it is also the point. The brain keeps what was useful and lets the scaffolding dissolve. What you feel when you wake up, calmer, or oddly hopeful, or finally ready to deal with something, that is not nothing. That is the work showing up in the only form that matters. So tonight, when you close your eyes and the strange theater starts again, you are not just passing time until morning. You are doing something your waking mind cannot do alone. The lights go down, and the real work begins.